Yo, we're live. All right, here we are. What's up, guys? How's it going? It's Sound Font Day. Sound Font
Sound
Day.
font.
Yeah, Sound Fonts. What are sound fonts? Sound fonts are samples. It's a bank of instruments you can load in and use in music. And that's how I got my start. That's how I launched my entire music everything. Was
Yeah.
messing with sound fonts as a kid. And it's still a thing. They still exist. And I found out over the past week it's still possible to use them in a music workflow and not just like to play back old MIDI files. You can still actually write music with this technology. So I am here with Caleb.
Shalom.
Yo, Caleb is interning with Mint Potion, learning about music stuff, learning from me about the weird side of music stuff, and from Robbie and Ben about the studio side of music stuff, and most importantly, what not to do, which is spend all day just wanking around instead of getting to work.
Oh no, I do that already.
But yeah, everyone does that, and when you can't do enough of that is when you start hating your job.
Yeah.
Like you just need that time to just stretch out and feel like, all right, I can think about ideas because I don't feel like a constant panic. I've felt that way for the past decade, and this is a brand new way to approach it, and it's working a lot better. So on that note, I have a lot of music to write in the next week or two, the next month or so. There's a lot of stuff going on, and so the reason we're having this stream tonight, which will eventually, hopefully, transition into writing music for one of the aforementioned many projects that I gotta work on. The reason we're having the stream tonight is so that I could assemble a sample bank I can use for anything. I can use it for sketching out rough drafts on things. I can sort of plan the music side of things without thinking about the sound design side of things. I can have a palette to work with. A box of crayons is the way I like to look at it. You have a box of crayons that you can sketch stuff out with, and the drawings may not look too good, but they are they're at least going to give you an idea of what the final sound will be when you put in your good ass sounds that you got on the side. But I don't want to have to worry about loading those things every time I want to sketch something. Like I need a piano. Let's import preset that I've saved and it's not quite right, so you got to fiddle with it a little bit.
Yeah.
F that. I just want to call it piano one. It's a known good sound. It's ready to go. It's already loaded because I was working on trumpet, so I have to have. You have one loaded, you got them all. So all you got to do is change the number in Cubase, and it'll go to a different patch. That's the way to go. So, with that in mind, we have a number of sound fonts we've downloaded, and we're going to pick one to be our base, and maybe customize it and add better sounds from other sound fonts that have, the same general purpose application, the same exact numbers on the same instruments, but they sound totally different. In most cases, worse than the one that I found, and in a few cases, way better. So I can take like the harmonica or the saxophones and from something else that sounds sweeter and better in general, and I can import them into this one, and just have a master bank that I can use for everything going forward. I can sketch out OKKO. I can sketch out video game music. I could do stuff for small window. Like this will become the Vert font. This will be like the sound of Jake's sketches. And then the sound of whoever else's sketches. Like if we can make it the sound of a bunch of different people's sketches and get everyone to agree that that piano is whatever you really want it to be, but for now it's this sound that you recognize and you're like, good use of that piano, Like if you're making music that sounds good with a basic sound set that everyone already knows, like it's gonna sound amazing when you put different instruments behind it. And in a pinch, you can just use the defaults just render the presets because they sound pretty good. They're not 100% studio, Magic 2017 sample library good. It's a 32 megabyte sound font. So it's a lot and a little. It's essentially like a keyboard ROM bank, but it runs on your computer. That's what sound fonts are.
Which set are we starting off with first?
What's up?
Which set are we starting off with first?
We're gonna start with the 4 meg Creative GM, but we're just gonna listen to the track in that, and I'm gonna show you the default one that's aged somewhat poorly, but is still classic to me. Like this is to me the 4 meg Creative set that came with all the Sound Blaster cards back in the day. That's the reference bank to me. That's like It's crisp. All the samples are really tiny and trimmed and
Juicy.
looped. It's juicy. It sounds shiny. It sounds like bright. Like all the drums are like ka. They like it really hits you when it plays. Unfortunately, these days it sounds kind of like a ringtone. It's kind of shoddy and cheap sounding, like toy like. It sounds like you're playing like Canyon.mid in Windows. Like you're just listening to the built-in presets, and it's aged badly. So I want to find more realistic instrument samples that don't sound quite as they still sound MIDI like, but they sound like, wow, that's a nice bank. What sound font are you using? Like, if you can get to that level, I think you can fool the average person into thinking it's music and not a ringtone. Not to disparage ringtone authors, because I've been one, but we suck. Like, we don't want to sound like ringtones anymore. It's 2017. So at least go into it with decent sounding, bass and strings and pianos and stuff. And I think you'll fool a lot of the people and maybe some of the clients into thinking, you have sample libraries going when all you have is a single sound font that you're sketching on. And then blow their mind when you deliver the final result with good samples behind it. So I think that's the way I want to work from now on. It also allows me to split up the process so I can have other people working on instrumenting out stuff once I've done the general MIDI sketch, which this is the part I'm best at, is using the sounds at hand to craft something out of. But I don't like searching for sounds while I'm working. It's the worst part of my job. That's why I'm doing this entire setup. Is I hate like browsing through my libraries and be like, oh, that won't work. Oh, that sucks. All right, that could ish. I gotta tweak it a little bit, but it'll work ish. Like when I'm sitting down to write, I have chord progressions in my head, and I'm just like, "F you, I gotta write now." So, I think that's essentially the method that I will be teaching. So while we're doing this, we're editing a Google document with all of our findings, and I'll put this up on the screen here so y'all can see what we're working on. Here's what we found so far, and we have banks, but I don't have. Actually, you have the file names of them.
Yeah.
In your local folder.
I do, in
fact.
But
you don't have where they were downloaded from, so we're going to have to refine. I don't even know where. I just Googled and just clicked on any SF2 that I found. GMIDI SF2. I got like 10 of them, maybe 12. And they are varying in size from 4 megs to 200, 300 megs. What the hell? Wait, show me again.
What was that?
What was that?
What is that?
I love it. Where did you get that? Why
That's
is that
awesome.
a thing now? What?
I love
Was
that
built
face.
into the TriCaster? Yes. Do you think that's one of the guys that works on the TriCaster software? My question stands. Do you think he's in on it? Or are they just using public domain footage? Like, did he work for them? He released a bunch of... Okay. I thought it came with the TriCaster. I was like, that's the best built-in footage I've ever seen.
Oh my
on
gosh.
anything. Oh yeah, you gotta have him beating us up all day. Just have that looping while we're doing
explosion.
our thing. Wow.
That's really funny.
I could watch that all day. And in fact I will. Let's work on some sound fonts. Alright, so this is the information we have assembled so far. I've been looking for a VST player. Alright, so everyone knows, okay, so the problem, let me write this down while I'm telling you guys about it. The problem with SFZ and other VST sound font players.
Oh, now it's Jack Black.
Oh, damn. What?
Too much fun in the control room.
They only let you load a single patch
At a time,
of each sound font if you want to type in 16 channels of a MIDI file. You have to load 16 copies of the sound font, one for each channel slot. SFZ TX16 the VS sound font players. Okay, so this means 16 Oh, wait. Everyone knows what that means. It's a crap ton of RAM. Not feasible. Wait, and then also the playback is usually pretty inaccurate as well.
Yeah.
Like all right, so one for each channel slot. That's the main problem. So we searched for plugins that could act as a virtual sound module supporting all of the MIDI messages. Well, I would say a large proportion of the MIDI messages one might use when doing old school MIDI sequencing, right? And then an output all 16 channels of a MIDI file through the same plugin using a single sound font. SF2 file. And, well, while sounding as close as possible to how it would on a real SB Live Audigy card. Rank from I could use it in a pinch to dude, this is the business.
It's a solid rating system.
You know? All right, so that's what we got. So, all right, so for banks are what we're going to be working on tonight. We're going to be evaluating instruments and cutting them together when we find one that's better in a different bank. And we can do this by listening to a song that has all the instruments in them in it at once, or we could just straight up just play with them in different banks. So we'll do a bit of both, because that you're gonna hear the song like 5 times. It's gonna suck. Okay, so first things first, I have to configure my MIDI devices to use the patch names. I don't remember how to do this. I have to relearn it every time I use Cubase, and I have to do some MIDI stuff in it. So general MIDI patches in Cubase. MIDI device manager is where it's going to be, I think. Okay. Devices, MIDI device manager. Install device. GM device. Wow, all these things it supports, all these ROM synths from the 90s. Man, I want to own all of those. GM device. Not connected. Connected to network session 1. Okay, so then in that case, if I change, I'm going to select all these, gang them in. Oh, they're already linked. Good. So I can change the network session 1 to GM device. And it'll probably change the patch. Yeah, dude. All right, great. Piano. So I can be like, or I can be like.
There you go.
All right, cool. Now I can select patches by name instead of typing in a number from memory or consulting a chart. Ugh. All right, let's go. Yeah, so if you have an SE88 or something, if you guys want to use an old ROM synth to do your GM, like by all means, knock yourself out. I have a Motif XS sitting right here, and it's one of the best General MIDI synths of all time. Unfortunately, it's just freaking old sounding. It's like it's an old synth. It's old enough where things have dated enough where I don't want to use it for mock-ups that I'm sending to people, right? So we got to tweak it with all this hobbyist stuff. Like there have been so many iterations of these like free internet sound fonts over the years. It's had a lot of time to mature into a very edited and compatible package. And so some of these are really polished. Even if they haven't been updated in a few years or 10 years, like they reached the pinnacle of sound font design through the hobbyist scene. So without further ado, let's listen to the 4 meg version of "Marry Me Boosh,"
Marry Me Boosh.
the subject of which song literally just walked in and out of our building to say hi to
Yeah.
us, like out of nowhere. Like I had no idea he was in town, and James is just like, "Hey, we'll just come through," and then he just comes in and chills with us for a minute, and I'm like, "Well, I'm playing your song right now. I've been listening to it for a week." All right, so let's listen. I'll turn my mic off while we listen to the Sound Blaster version. Just turn it to mute if you want to mute. So that wasn't an entirely accurate reproduction of the Sound Blaster experience. The mixing was a little bit off in certain places. That's just due to discrepancies in the playback between different. This is a plug-in simulation. you can't really perfectly emulate the mix of an SB Live. There's just no going back to that once you get off it. But this is the closest approximation I've found. This is what the song sounded like when I wrote it on an SB Audigy, more or less. The piano's a little too loud here, and like the jazz guitar doesn't sound as present. Like there are a few mixing inconsistencies, but for the most part, pretty accurate. It's accurate enough to use on a daily basis as a sound font synth, in my opinion. And that is this one that I've been. Where did I put the? There it is. That's Bass MIDI VST at FalcoSoft.hu. And I was going crazy trying to find specifically this plugin, a really accurate and yet flexible sound font player that lets you pipe in all 16 MIDI channels. Like that's a huge problem for SFZ for a lot of these players. So like you can load up your general MIDI, but you just have to pick one instrument. It really sucks. So yeah, Bass MIDI VST is awesome as hell. I'm using it over here on the laptop. You can't see the screen, but it is it's just pretty basic. You just load in the sound fonts you want, and it just works. You can configure alternates so that you can use a bank select change, presumably. Yeah, bank 1, 2, 3, and 4, or configurable banks can be set. So you can make a bank change message in Cubase. You could just be like, yo, what view? You can be all like, come on, Jake, get it together. All right, list editor. You can be like, yo, I want to put on, see this list view here? I want to insert an event, and I want it to be, instead of a note, I want it to be, oh, you gotta select what you want ahead of time. Program change or controller would be bank. Do you have bank selections? Oh yeah, you gotta draw it in first. I don't use this thing often, but I'm about to. Yeah, data 1 and data 2 is going to be the bank and the patch. So, and then the channel. So I could be like 4, and then it would select whatever sound font is in bank 4 on Bass MIDI VST. So if I don't like the drums in the sound font, I could just put it in bank 4, and it'll just work like on a different sound font. So I can mix and match that way as well. But I'd rather come up with a single reference set that we can put on our wiki
that everybody can use.
This is the Mint Potion official sound bank that we use on everything. And it's got version numbers, version 2 has got a better cello, but it's got to be backwards compatible with the old stuff, Anyway, so we have this file has every instrument in it. I'm using patch change commands. Watch, see, I'll change to a different instrument midway through the song, so I can reuse that channel. You only get 16 MIDI channels, so if you want to use more than 16 instruments in your song, you're gonna have to switch them constantly. So this uses all 128, so it's a good test of every of a sound bank's general sound. You're not gonna get much more of a work out of it than this because it's just got everything in it, and it repeats a chorus in a verse, using different subsets of instruments, to give you a feel. Oh, that's what that melody sounds like in this. Oh yeah, okay, so it helps you contextualize it. This was an accident, and I didn't plan it like this. I just wanted to make a song with all the instruments in it.
What do you like about this bank?
This bank, it's that it's fast. It hits like really hard on every single note when you hit it. But when the notes are at low volume, they sound more twinkly and soft. But the dynamic range is tremendous. Like when you hit a note really hard, like those drums really pop at high volume. I love that dry snare. I've always played with that. I love that snare sound. No, that's not it.
That's not it. It's a piano.
And then you have the other snare here, but I hardly ever use this one. Sometimes I'll use it like for harder rock stuff. But usually I'm using this one, or maybe both together. Like, I love this snare sound, defines it to me. The bass is also the best basses. Like the slap bass solo here. I love all of the bass sounds in this set. The finger bass is also amazing. Like, I grew up with this. Like, it's the sound of Sound Blaster in the '90s to me, and that's what I grew up with. So it's very very nostalgic for me. Unfortunately, it's nostalgic in a bad way to a lot of people. It just hasn't really aged well. These sounds are kind of plasticky and artificial sounding. It sounds like ringtones or default Windows MIDI, like when you just play a MIDI file and it plays through the sound canvas bank and the bad sound canvas bank, and when like it's. So that's a really complex. Like everything's there's so much going on there, but it just kind of sounds like a ringtone at its best.
Yeah.
So what we found were about 12 different sound fonts that we evaluated. Ben and I did the America's Test Kitchen thing and just listened through each one with this song. And we're like, oh, nice organ. Oh man, yeah, the guitar in that is dope. Like, oh man, those drums. Or, they just used the Sound Blaster drums for that one. So here's how we topped this bank. Here's the best one we found. Where is it? There we go. Okay, got it. We're gonna turn the reverb and shit down. I don't need a lot of that, but it's still just a send, I believe. It shouldn't put it over everything until I have controller 91 in there. All right, let's play. This is Reality. Does it have a version number?
I don't think there's version numbers in them.
031.9 Reality GMGS Bank .sf2. I found another one that was this edited slightly, so I think I want to grab that first and try it. No, I'll try this first, and then we'll see what changed in the other bank. Oh, I know where it was. It was at dude who makes Bass MIDI VST. At his site, he has a sound font that's this one, but augmented somehow. I don't know how yet, but let's listen on the bass one first, just so we get. I think this is going to form the basis of the Mint Potion Bank. I think this is the future of our music is all going to sound like this bank. At first, anyway. Hold up, I'm not sure if it loaded in properly, if that was the right bank. It sounded like it was using parts of both. Maybe it was that bank selection that I screwed up. Yeah, that's better. So, as you see, that is a much better sound than the Sound Blaster Live. It sounds a lot more modern, but still pretty retro, still pretty synthy, and that's okay because it's like the good kind of synthy. It sounds more like a decent keyboard synth. Like from mid 2000s ish. It sounds a lot more like the Motif and the Sound Blaster had a baby. So that's more or less what I was shooting for in the first place, because it already sounds like the sounds that I select for myself anyway from my good presets and synths. Like a lot of those kind of sounds are in here, and I can access them as defaults. So and not have to load up all my shit on the side, robbing me of focus that I so desperately need to get a thing done. So yeah, there are a few sore spots in here though. Like for example, the taiko section in the no, it's before that.
Mm-hmm.
Before that. Yeah, that should be a taiko. Where is it at? Let's see the matrix. I believe it's this one. Is it this? Nope, that's the correct. That's the melodic tom. Let's find where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is it gonna be here? What is it?
Yeah, what did it switch to there?
All right, let's find out. Looks like it's going. No, it looks like it's going near the beginning, so it's probably legit switching to the piano. And it's just way loud compared to the other bank. Did I even put the taiko in here? I have to have. There's no way I didn't have a taiko. I mean, I used it somewhere in the song. It might as well be in the Japan section. Let's look at a list editor. I gotta map something to this. It's going to 118. Yeah, that's a taiko, right?
Can I beat you to it?
Yep.
Oh, dang it.
2021.
I had to look in the actual sound files.
No. Taiko is no.
Taiko is 116.
Taiko is 116.
Yeah.
So what am I calling up?
Calling up, that's reverse symbol.
There's no way. Wait, also
119 is reverse symbol.
We're starting if it's 118 then we're off by 1. And in other words, you got to start counting at 0. And I'm not sure if there's an option in Polyphone for that or if it's screwed up in this part of things. Let's have a look.
No, that should be correct.
Let's see.
Unless this is just because I don't think this is the reality GM set that I pulled up.
Well, let me load
but
up.
It should be the same, right?
I'm gonna load up a list editor. See, yeah, that's 118, and that in the general MIDI set. I gotta call up my chart. It's been so long since I've.
Pretty sure it's reverse symbol.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
It doesn't sound like that at all, though.
Right, it doesn't. Patch. It's calling up a 118. Let's see. Yo. Oh, word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck with the stream tonight, guys.
Thank you.
See.
Wait, yeah, I think we're off. I think we might be off by 1, starting at 1 instead of 0. Let me check Polyphone and see what they're reporting. See what they're giving me. Oh, I forgot to restart it. No, I don't want to look up the word Polyphone.
String, wind.
Where the heck did I install it to? Who knows? Applications. Did I just run it out of the package or something? I think I might have.
It could also just be some sort of basic COM. Looks like in the variables.
Alright, I'm installing Polyphone right now into my applications folder. And then we will pop up the sample editor and have a look. I'll see how it represents numbers so that we get our numbers straight. Here we go. Here we go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, look at that dark green theme.
Right? It's beautiful. I love it. It looks minty. Looks kind of like Discord.
Looks pretty minty. Yeah, it does look like
let's
Discord.
see. All right, so Formeg GSMT preset. Let's see. Wait, where does it start counting?
It starts at 0, yeah.
0. So then
119.
Yeah, but it's 118.
Yeah,
it's setting it
Tycho.
to, is a Tycho room.
Oh, it's sending it to 118?
But wait, 120. Oh, this is on bank 127. What does bank 0 say? Oh, it has all these listed. Okay, so bank. It should be 116 should be the Tycho. So this is a synth drum.
Yeah.
So then I gotta find 116. That's the Tycho. It's in here somewhere. But if that's the one that's going to. Yeah, it's. All right, so it's just that this is way too loud, and you don't hear the Tycho wherever it is. I gotta find it. Where the hell did I put it? Is it this one? Man, I have to, because I never go into the list editor. If I double click, it goes into the piano roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 117. Okay, so this is the Tycho channel. This should be anyway. Right?
Got some of that.
I believe so. No, that's melodic
No.
tom. What the hell? Is
Wait,
it
where?
counting, is it
Where
maybe
are Tycho
it's counting
drums?
from 0 from 1. Let's find out. What is the maximum we can do? It goes 0 to 127. All right. So it might be counting from 1 as well. Let's hear what this is supposed to be. That's the Tycho.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does that mean
Those are way muted. That's
Yeah.
like that needs more in the mix.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Well,
I wonder if
Tychos
that just
are
that
traditionally
sample
not
just
they're not really loud enough to to like punch over pop music.
Yeah, especially not
They're usually
synth
pretty
drums.
subtle. So these are more realistic Tycho, right? But we don't want that. We want the ones that sound like MIDI, like the ones that sound like general MIDI. And if you play a song that has them, it should play them loudly enough to resemble what you wrote. So that's the only sore spot that I really find in here. I remember thinking the harmonica wasn't as cool as the That's a pretty good
the harmonica?
Whoop, that's not it. The patch change doesn't happen till here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But this is more of a like a banda synth
Yeah.
harmonica. Like it's a little bit chintzy sounding, and there's not to disparage banda, but I'm not going to be writing as much of that as I am going to be something that sounds like a more real harmonica, you know. So I unless I use an LFO that's mapped to filter on this, so it goes. I need a little bit more flutter. But this does pretty much resemble the SB Live one. It might actually be. All right, cool. So let's work on that one first, I think. So let's call up some other patches. Let's call up a couple other banks here, and we'll play individual sections of this track and see if they sound better in the other one.
Which one do you want next?
The one that I found that had this huge ass 272 meg one, Omega GM GS2. I want to mess with that and see what's good in there, because it sounded terrible when I used it. It was like out of tune in half of the places. I couldn't finish the song in it because it just didn't. It sounded totally out of tune and unbalanced. But if it has individually good sounds, we might be able to pull those in,
salvage something,
copy paste, salvage them, and that's part of what we'll build our bank from. So let's first initialize it. Right away. What the hell? That's unacceptable. Good drums.
I like the bass in it too. It's not bad.
Yeah. Oh, that's the default. That's the Sound Blaster bass. You just can't get away from it. It's the best slap bass ever sampled, in my opinion. It's not the most realistic, but it's the most. It sounds like what a synth slap bass is supposed to sound like.
Yeah.
Not like the real thing as much. All right, so that's so I gotta listen to parts of this that are. It's too mushy. The strings just aren't usable because they don't come in fast enough.
Yeah.
They don't start with the rosin of the bow. Like they don't sound like they're played in an arco manner. Good polysynths though, but who cares?
Polysynths,
they're
yeah.
good everywhere.
It's not hard to find good polysynths.
And I love this piano so much.
Cool.
Like, what the hell is that? That pizzicato? Those aren't even timed properly, so they're kind of jittery. Listen to
Yeah.
the timing. It sounds like it has a swing in it.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't. They're quantized to the 16th. It's because the
Oh gosh.
one of the samples that they're using in the multi-sample
Mm-hmm.
has it has a little bit of dead space before the peak of the wave. So it's not it's bling. So when you try to play back something written in 16th notes or 8th notes, it's going to sound like it's off kilter and badly timed. And you don't want that. The drums are great though.
The drums are really nice.
Nice. It's got the ice rain sound. Yeah, I love Ice Rain. That's my favorite thing from Roland Synth. Love it. All right, but that's not what I want. Atmosphere sounds great, but I think that's the default. It sounds pretty familiar. Good brass.
Oh.
And it's got to be.
Yeah.
Come on, baby, shake your body, do that. You know,
Oh my gosh.
that's what it is. Yeah, that's just bad. You wouldn't want that in your GM set because it's going to play back half of the files and sound like butt. Unless they're written for an orchestra, which this obviously was more heavily tailored towards the orchestral instruments. It's just soaked. It's... Alright, let's see what it's mushy. It just doesn't sound like it kicks in fast enough. What is that? Excuse for...
Wait.
Is that synth voice lead? Yeah, there's cum shots buried all over this track. I put that melody in everything. I'll show you more about it. Where it comes from. Really good organs, though. Let's see the rock organ in this section. Oh, it sounds so good.
Yeah.
Maybe better than the other one, I'm not sure. See, it's got a percussive attack to it. It starts with a high pipe, a high partial, high stop.
Yeah.
in
What was the
organ.
first sound bank we tested?
Yeah, I'm gonna check this next one. It's Reality GS Bank. It says 031.9 meg Reality GS Bank.sf2. So let me call that back up and see if it's the same organ sound or a different one, or if it's better. I think it's the same one. In which case, great, we're gonna use it.
Yeah.
And the reason it sounds better is because some of the instruments around it probably sound better, and it just supports it, just like a better mix overall. But yeah, I noticed the organ in both of these banks, so that's the one we're gonna keep.
So which one are we going for?
Reality is gonna be the primary one we use, but I want to pick individual instruments from this 272 meg one. If they're good, they may just be defaults, and the 272 megs might all be in strings and chorus that sound all mushy and orchestral. I'm not sure how they're like where they're putting their focus on new instruments like the big ones. Let's hear the harmonica. That seems to be, if not the same, pretty similar. Whoops, I'm still in applause mode
simple.
here. Yeah, it's the same harmonic. One of these had a great one. I forget which one it is. Let's find out.
Maybe the Merlin.
Yeah, let's try. And I gotta fix that in this note. Even though it's in the original MIDI file, it's gonna drive me nuts. Thank you.
Sweet. Yeah, there we go. Also,
I had an hour to make this, so whatever.
For people wondering in the chat, we're getting these together so we can make our own little, general MIDI set, and then we're gonna put it on a wiki for everyone to use.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to use it.
We're teaching the way of the
way of the general.
The way of the general, which is one way to make music. We teach kata. We teach like individual exercises that are part of a big style, an overarching style. My style is the way of the general. I write general MIDI music as a sketch, and then that allows me to focus on the composition more than the sound design. But there are other methods of doing it. There's the experimentation. There's the Bennett method. There's the Ben method. There's the Caleb method. Everybody has their own way of working, and I'm teaching basically a martial art in music form. Like I'm teaching you guys how to use this tool in a general purpose bank that you can load up quickly to just spur on your creativity without having to worry about loading all your stuff up. Because everybody's got like gigabytes of sample libraries now, either free or paid or whatever. It's like it's such a pain to just slog through them every time you want to write anything. Oh my god. It's stressed me out for my entire adult life, and now I'm done. I just want to get a set, sketch my music, and then make it real after that. So, that in mind, it's going to clap after everyone because it resets back to applause. Let's look up Merlin. It could be Merlin.
Wait, the Merlin Creative or Merlin General MIDI 22?
I loaded up GM22.
Okay.
Here's Merlin Creative. It's better in the other one, GM22. But it sounds very similar. So they probably just tuned it to sound. I'm not sure if it's a new sample or what. This right here. The lower range sounds. Come on. And it plays a vibra slap. Man, come on. What are we doing here? Everything is armed. Get out of here with that noise.
Yeah.
It's got some warble built into the sample. Or modulation, I'm not sure. You hear that? Mm-hmm. Man.
All I'm thinking of is that Cowboy Bebop episode with the kid who plays harmonica.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to try to play that right now. Which one was it? One of them had a really good freaking harmonica in it, and I was just geeking out over it. I was like, this is awesome.
Let's try Fluid.
Let's try Fluid. Yo!
Yeah?
Yeah, that's so much better.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? All right. I want to see what else Fluid has that's good for ripping out. God, their pianos are so loud. What's that high pitch? Something's got a long ring. Yeah, that harmonica though. Whoa.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, those aren't the greatest do's. I want the do, not the ooh. Whoop. Boom, boom, boom. Nah. Terrible electric piano. Yeah, no. That's terrible. Listen to that flat sounding organ compared to the other one. It's got like vibrato in it.
Yeah.
Not even Leslie sound. That's not usable. Nice assertive piano though. The crappiness of that hi-hat renders the drum kit unusable. It's too much. It doesn't get out of the way fast enough, so you're like... It sounds really machine gunny because it's a very present sound throughout. It doesn't curve down fast enough. It's not enough of a tick. It's more of a... instead of a...
Yeah.
Tick. That's also pretty... But it's a good open hi-hat, though. Not for metal, though. That's a nice snare, though. Like, they're not enough like the traditional General MIDI drums to be useful to me, though, because they don't really sound great in there.
Guitar's not bad. I can't remember how this guitar lined up with the other ones.
It's even in tune with the song, coincidentally. Yeah. The telephone solo. Yeah, there's a lot of... It's the saxes. Okay, so they sound nice on their own. That's probably a bassoon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's supposed to be an oboe, English horn, or a soprano sax, just being played out of range, or an alto. Let's find out. It's very indistinct either way. It's not the greatest. Let's see what it's loading up. It's going to 66, which is alto sax. But it could be soprano sax if this thing is counting from one.
Yeah.
Let's find out if it's in MIDI devices. Maybe I can edit it. Because I gotta find out. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to
work with it.
Well, I can.
You can work with it, but
I can do this, but I'm not going to be able to like type in a number and know it's going to go to the right one. Either way, it's out of tune as well. So, man, I'm almost done with this set. Let's see about the jazz guitar. It's really shrill sounding.
Yeah.
So is that. Ladies and gentlemen, the world's worst banjo. No, that's an acoustic steel guitar. I was like, wait, or is it? No, that's a good banjo. All right, what else are we talking about? But because the envelope is so terrible on the acoustic guitar, it
Yeah.
blurs everything together. Like, that's supposed to, when you let off that key, it's supposed to instantly, or more or less. What is that?
Yeah, the envelopes are really weird on some of these.
What even?
Oh.
I bet it's not like that in the original, and this is just messing up on this VST. I want to think that, and not just that they did that, because that's like, I just want to take whoever did that and hug them. Be like, let's play with sound fonts. Yeah, it's all out of tune. Ignore that I'm pitch bending a marimba. It's just a layer, a synth layer, to create it with this. And then this. Whoa, good sitar out of nowhere. Let's check the sitar on other banks and see if it's as good. If so, if not, I think we found our sitar. Let's check reality. Boom. I love how I can just swap them back and forth just by... That's... Do-do-do-do-do-do. So that versus this. That sounds so much more like a real sitar.
Yeah.
Whoa, huh. Not that doesn't though.
That does not sound like a sitar. Oh, visions of Mario 64.
Yeah, yeah. Wait.
Yeah, wait, what was it?
No, I'm trying to figure out. No, there's no tambura in General MIDI. Damn, I was gonna get a drone going in the background. See, I'm still not gonna have everything I need to do, but it's enough to get you in the mood. It's enough to create the impression of tambura drone. All right, cool. All right, so let's take the sitar and I would say the harmonica out of Fluid R3,
Okay.
and see if you can paste those into reality. Let's see what other gems are buried in this semi-problematic sound font. Oh yeah, there's a helicopter in this section.
What?
It's like a cop thriller section.
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna have a siren, but I ran out of time. Good accordion. I'm not sure if that's tango or regular. All right. Let's test this in other, and I'll figure out if this is a tango accordion or not. We'll go into a slightly more in-depth test. I want to go through every voice of this thing and see if they're good or not, and we can load the Sound Blaster bank in bank B just for comparison.
Okay.
And I could just switch back and forth real quick. Yeah. Man, hope y'all are having fun. I know I am. This is what I do for fun. I'm kind of a weird guy, but I know I'm not alone. guitar is pretty low on this one too. I mean, Tycho.
It's not bad.
It's a very classical sounding harpsichord,
Extremely classical.
but it doesn't necessarily fit in a general MIDI setting because I write music with harpsichord that doesn't sound like this kind of harpsichord based on most general MIDI sets having much less layering and much less the plectrum sound in there. No. It's a very specific kind of sound. It's great sound, but I could see using it in certain things, but it wouldn't be a daily driver for me. I need the classic harpsichord that sounds more like... Yeah, we'll go through each one later. I just want to see what this has in it. Oh, that's a reed organ that I made to sound like what's it called? The Buddhist drone melodium. I forget what the Japanese term. The one that you always hear in temples and stuff. All right, yeah, the toms are okay. Not great. I'm too sexy for this tom. Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, it's a tough call on some of these. Great. Somebody took the breath sound literally and actually made somebody going. It's supposed to be like a bottle blow almost. Not, but different from the bottle blow sound. Like there's already a bottle blow, but the breath sound is supposed to be, yeah, that's like if you're making a sax piece and you're like, it's like the fret noise, which by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but in this guitar solo here, if anyone's ever looked into this song, the guitar solo, check it out when the fret squeak happens. Oh, it's here.
Yeah,
it's in this channel. It's in. Check
cool
it out.
organ line.
That fret squeak sound when you're moving to the next string.
Yeah.
That's a patch. That's a preset. So I actually use that for that part of the song. That's the only place it is in the song. So if you want to hear how the fret squeak sounds, you listen to this solo. You can just barely hear it in there, but that's what it's for. It's supposed to make a guitar sound a little more realistic. And you can use the muted guitar also, so you can do like, you know, have some of your strings muted when you need to for emphasis. Like there's so much to making a good MIDI guitar solo. But I don't want to have to care. I just want to play it. All right. I think I'm done with this bank. Is that the unusable? See, those are nice sounding horns, but unfortunately they're not general MIDI enough. I mean, they do sound really good though. I switched to a go-go as the patch itself. That's a good sounding a go-go though. That a go-go though. Shit. It's so rough. All right, let's move on. What should we evaluate next?
Oh.
I'm looking for broad strokes in just general. Like the 32 meg GM stereo is too much like the original.
Yeah.
Did we try Omega yet?
Yeah, we did Omega.
Did we
Let's
try
do general
Unison?
user.
What's up?
Let's do general user.
General music, yes. General user GS Mu score.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Load that up. I seem to remember that this doesn't have a non-orchestral drum kit. So the snare drum in the main rock kit uses, that's an orchestral Piatti symbol and not a crash on a drum kit. And I don't think you can get around that. I think that's just what it is. Yeah, that's the default grand piano kit. In other words, this is made for doing orchestra music and not general rock. But if we ignore the drum kit from this, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
That sounds really good, actually. Not that good. But oh, that bass is all blown out. Listen to that. Bounce. Not convinced. Good choir stuff.
Yeah, choir's solid.
Those are convincing. Is it this one?
Just really snappy.
They're
not enough?
really realistic sounding. Unfortunately, they're just not. They're not. I need them to bounce.
Need more bounce.
Bum. Yeah, it has to go and not You know?
Yeah.
Man. That's a tough call. I don't think I want to include that one in the general set because it sounds great. We could maybe use it as a sub bank, like Bank 2 has got that one in it. We can always do that and have alternatives in the GS spec.
Uh-huh.
In that case, it's not general MIDI anymore; it's GS.
Yeah.
And you're using bank select. So you select like an alternate version of the organ. We can always do that. So I can drop down to the default organ if I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should do that with those good saxes that we were hearing.
They could work.
Well, let's go back to that later, and see if we're out of good sounds. If we're missing any really tight ones. Good guitar. We're still a pipe organ. Nah, man, that's a terrible key switch. Come on, are you kidding me? It sounds nothing alike. That's why we do this. I would come across that in a project and be like, fuck, I gotta tweak that now. Not as good as the other one. The key switches are just rough. Can't even hear the helicopter. What is that hum? Oh, something got MIDI reset. Yay. Something didn't turn off. More assertive taiko. Yeah, let's grab the taiko out of this one.
This is general user, right?
Yeah. Let's see how their melodic toms are. That's standard. Same. Dominic, you know the Zero Weave. What is that? The freaking Circle of Fifth droning instrument that from Buddhist temples.
What was that?
That was the end of a solo. That's not a chiff lead, you jerk.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
I don't know if it's too like general MIDI enough for you though.
That flute sucks. It's great if you're like letting every note breathe a lot, but when you're like, you know, playing fast jazz stuff, it's not gonna work. I think this general user is more towards like notation.
Mm-hmm.
It's MuseScore, which is a scoring package, and it's the one that comes with it. So it's just like it's made for band instruments and in orchestra stuff. I think it's not made for a general, like to be a general every purpose general MIDI bank. It's got some good sounds in it though. Crisp glockenspiel.
Oh, the tuning instrument is a show. Okay.
Yeah, those guitars suck. Okay, I'm not convinced by this one, but it's not terrible. It's just not for this purpose.
Yeah, I mean, at least we got the taiko drums out of it.
Yeah, the taiko drum out of it. Cool.
I don't know if the Glockenspiel is better. Glockenspiel is better than the reality one though.
Solo listening, it was really partial heavy, so it kind of sounds a little bit out of tune in places, but it's not. It's just that it's playing overtones that kind of are too predominant. The fundamental frequency isn't strong enough with the glockenspiel. So, what else haven't we tried yet?
We can do the unison.
Was that wasn't what I just loaded? No, it wasn't.
No, we did general user.
Yeah. All right.
We also have Jurgen.
I seem to remember that one being like impossibly loud to the point where I couldn't even listen to it because it's just like from the start. Like everything is maximized. But I could be wrong. Let's try that next. Not a bad bass. It's a little too...
Yeah.
Nah, it's fried, dude. Listen to this. Like, some of those are good notes, but...
Uh-huh.
But listen to this.
Yeah.
I can't work with that. No, man. It's good for that. Like.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's not a bad slap bass, but it doesn't sound again
Mhm.
like predictable, like what I'd expect for a general MIDI bass. Like it's too specific to one purpose. Like once you use this in a song, that's the bass sound of that song, and it's like it's not generic enough. I guess I'm saying it's too distinctive, and some of these samples are really grody. Nah. Yeah, the slap bass, because it's so blaring,
Yeah.
it's overpowering everything. That's why you need to have it. They're supposed to play well together. Is the point. Piano's really thin sounding brass. Ooh. Unacceptable having frequency envelopes on your lead like that.
Mhm.
Nothing will sound good like that if you play it like Steely Dan dot mid and it's expecting to sound a certain kind of way.
Dot mid.
You know.
Beautiful.
This is my favorite part. I'm not hearing anything that jumps out at me, are you?
No.
Oh. Not a bad muted trumpet.
Yeah.
Nah, it's well.
It's
let's
really
play it in
slow.
range.
That's better.
We'd have to fix the vibrato speed in the
Yeah,
sound
what the
font,
heck?
though. Yeah, who plays like that? Coke fiend. It's like Dizzy Gillespie on a one of those like vibration weight loss
Gosh.
devices. You know the what do they call them? The freaking belt. He's getting electrocuted. Come on, guys. Yeah, it's the it's a stunt. It's a stunt patch. In other words, it's not usable in an everyday environment where you need to do a muted trumpet texture, for example. It's only for solos, basically. And I might want to play this in an ensemble, you know.
Yeah.
It's a little too stunty for me. It sounds great though. It sticks out really well. But the melodic
What is
tones
that?
are too high. That's that might actually be more useful than because it's a. They seem to be tuned higher than they usually are. Nah, not compelling. That's just the bog standard tom. All right. Shamisen pretty crisp, but it might just be the default one. Let me find out where it is. Here. I'm using Koto and Shamisen at the same time. It's a very good Koto. It's a really good Koto. How's the shamisen? Yeah, these are really good. Both of these are excellent. I'm not sure if they're in anything else.
Alright, we'll have those down for this one then. That
So-
and what else do we like in this one? We like the meter trumpet, but the what else? I don't think
I don't think there's
there's
anything,
anything
else so far,
much
really.
to get from this.
I didn't like that. Let's see. Oh, that's the. Ooh, that's incredibly nice. The violin patch, and it works in general MIDI pretty well. You know?
Yeah.
All right. I had to put it in context instead of just noodling. So let's take the violin. I'm not sure if that's violin or
Okay.
fiddle, but let's take both and see what it.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna audition the violin and the fiddle in unison. Is this? Yep, unison. Yeah, unison probably has a bunch of really good individual sounds
Mm-hmm.
that we should consider. All right. I'm like, yes, that's applicable for video game music. It's a good sound for that. And if I use that in an episode of OKKO, he'll know it's a fiddle because, oh yeah, it sounds just like this. It's a really good. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's
What is
either
it?
soft or voice pad, voice lead. It's lead something. Let's find out.
Wait, is this unison or still jerking?
We're in unison now. It's like lead. It's either voice lead or I can find out right now. Synth lead, Calliope lead maybe. Come on. Why don't I get any output? Okay. Oh, because I had a volume fade. Hey, I'm like. It's not Charang. Is it voice? Nope. It's Chiff lead. Chiff lead out of this one is quite good. Might actually have to tune the envelope a little bit because it's a little bit traily for me.
Okay.
But we'll compare that with other banks too. It might actually be better in. Let me see if it's better in reality. Yeah, let's start going through the sounds because I think we're out of sound fonts to mess with. I'm pretty happy with reality for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a good attitude to have, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same one. Yay, we don't have to do anything. It sounds a lot like the original, and it might actually be. Some of these are from the 8 meg or 32 meg banks from EMU, so I'm not going to recognize them as readily as being from 4 meg, which is what I just used the 4 meg one only because it's even crisper. The 8 meg one is a little bit better samples, but they're a little softer and a little less, they don't punch as good. That's the 4 meg bank it's just so punchy. Listen again, like we've been listening to all these good ones for a while. Listen to the 4 meg default Sound Blaster one. That good ass guitar, you hear that? It doesn't sound realistic, but it's distinctive. Like for reference, this was the violins we were listening to. See how they have that at the beginning of it? they kind of squeak a little,
Mm-hmm.
and that lets you know that the note is starting. It's a cue that it's snappy sounding, and that's something that certain GM bank designers just get and others just don't get, because you have to when you play the note, you got to hear it immediately on its correct pitch. Yeah, I can't listen to this anymore. It's depressing. Like, I wish these were just higher quality but edited the same way.
Uh-huh.
You hear the piano's not cutting through? Man, I miss these sounds so much. This is Notepad.exe to me. This sound bank is like my basic, like, when I think music, often I think it in these sounds. So I'm just a giant walking anachronism, basically. Let's call back up reality, and let's start messing with it. All right, auditioning instruments time. First thing we got to do is turn the volume down on this electric grand. All right. Let me sacrifice a track. Or, I'll just mute everything, move it to a new folder, mute it, and then we'll play around. New folder. Okay. Mute this. So these are out of the picture now. We just got a fresh start here. So
We didn't like anything from the Merlin, right? The 22 hour creative.
I don't think I picked out anything from there that was like
that really stood out.
Never really stood out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy some of the commercial ones, just for reference. Because I have to have every sound font I can, just in case. But I can't really use any instruments in a non-free one that I'm gonna give out to other people.
Yeah.
So it's I'm hesitant to even include those in my thing, because I want to have a reference bank that we could all use, and it's balanced and good. So let's start messing around with the grand piano itself is a little bit. It's really tonal sounding. I might actually want to find a different one than that, unless it's chorused. I'm not sure if there's chorusing on this. Hang on. MIDI fader? Nope. MIDI modifiers. Nope. Quick controls? Yeah. Unless. Parameter MIDI. Yeah. I can do chorus and reverb. It's 91 and 92, I want to say. 91 and 92. Boom. See, reverb and chorus. Maybe it's 94. What is chorus? Chorus MIDI CC. $93. I picked the two wrong ones instead of the one right one. $93. Yeah. Yo. Yeah, this has a weird flangey kind of sound to it.
Jake, really quick.
Oh, wait. It's because I'm the biggest idiot ever, and these were armed. So I'm doubling the notes.
Oh, so you're playing over it.
I'm sending 2 notes to every, maybe more. Who knows?
Hold on, really quick. Captain Swag is wondering, what made you decide to release all of your video game soundtracks for free / pay what you want?
Man, I could rant for hours about my philosophy on music, but I would much rather have people pay me for my music because they want to and because they loved it. Kind of like when you busk and you have your guitar case open,
Yeah.
like a tip jar, just like a. I know a lot of people that make a decent living that way, just having people voluntarily pay for the experience of enjoying their music when they can, if they have a spare dollar or whatever. That's the approach I take on the internet, and it works because not only does everyone get the music for free, but people are like, yo, I got this for free. All right, maybe I'll support what this guy is about because, he actually gives his work away and doesn't just pay lip service to it. I wanna sort of create a culture where everybody gives their stuff away for free and lets people pay for it, because I think anytime that you insist on being paid for your music, before somebody gets to listen to it, they're probably going to be able to find a way around that, and you're going to experience. I don't have a problem with piracy because it's impossible to pirate my music, but it's free, and it still gets posted on torrent sites. It's like a rip of all Vert's albums. I'm like, cool.
It's just on Bandcamp.
It's spreading. Yeah, it's on Pirate Bay instead of Bandcamp. Like whatever. It's like you're immune to piracy at that point because your income comes from people voluntarily supporting you, instead of just doing so because they have to, because that's the price of admission. Like I don't want to charge admission. I want to like say, hey, we're floundering out here. We need your support. Like, what can we do? Are you able to support us? And if not financially, then you can at least tell friends and stuff. We can get people on board with our plans and our ideas and stuff a lot better if we're giving something back, like something tangible back, instead of just goodwill or even tutorials. Like that's the basic level of what I want to do. I want to give our creations away, and just foster a sort of an environment where people support us because they want to, if that makes any sense. But that's the way I grew up, was in a free demo scene where you just posted your stuff online and people downloaded it and liked it or not. So the whole concept of selling music digitally, it sort of came up to me as, well, great, we've been doing this for free anyway for years, having an online music sharing scene. Like, I've gotten banned from servers before because I posted MP3s that I wrote. Like,
what?
My music that I'm putting up, not something I ripped off a CD.
Yeah.
And so there was a big stigma about online music sharing for a long time, but we were just doing it left and right. It was natural to us. So the way I see SoundCloud and Bandcamp is the way I used to see like Tracks in Space or GeoCities or something. You just put your stuff on a site and let people listen to it. Like when people started paying me for it, that didn't change that I was just posting it when I was finished with it. So I've always had that philosophy of like free first and then maybe monetize it if it's applicable, or if you're getting paid to do a job. Like I already get paid to write all these soundtracks up front by the client most of the time. Sometimes I'll do it for free, and then make money on the back end from the album. But in those cases, it's usually never that much because it's not a big game anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll get a few downloads and some people will buy it, and it's just a thing that I've put up to share. But on a big game soundtrack, it can recoup not getting paid enough on the game. You can make it up in album sales, even though it's free. That's a thing that's possible now on Bandcamp. Even if it's free music, people will still pay for it. And that's, to me, that's crazy, but it's beautiful. It allows us to have that kind of business model where you don't have to pay for it, but like you can if you want to see more of it, and you're able to. So I hope that answers your question. It's a complicated issue for me to justify because I don't look down on people who sell their music. I just don't want to myself. I want to give mine away, but I'm not going to look down on anyone. But don't be surprised when you get pirated. Like it's basically like bits are so easy to transfer that being upset that you're losing money to people illegally downloading, it's like a lost cause at this point. You can't do anything about it. You might as well, if you can't beat them, join them. All right, so we have a new track. I'm not sending duplicates to it. The piano sounds a lot cleaner now because it's not doubling. I was like, why does it sound so flanged? It sounded good in the song.
Is this reality? Still, or is this?
Yes. I'm in reality, and we're evaluating individual sounds from it. All right, so grand piano, bright piano. It's pretty much what it's supposed to be. Electric grand sounds like it's from the Sound Blaster. Honky tonk sounds good. E pianos 1 and 2. Sounds good. Oh yeah, it's got the DX7
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Harpsichord. How's this? This actually sounds like the one from the from. You hear that whistling?
Yeah.
That's just one bad sample. Listen to the two samples next to each other. If you were playing,
Almost sounds like the sitar.
yeah, it's not satisfying. Let's find a better one. I think that's how we do this. We
Alright.
just, if we don't find a good sample, we look for another one. Let's see.
Harpsichord is out on Reality.
Let's look through Fluid. I think that had the same one. No, it's a different one, but it's more assertive. I don't want this much flange in it, though. Why do people make sound fonts that have these weird ass? All right, Merlin Creative. Let's see if that has it. That's a lot better.
Take me out to the ball game.
That's the Mac booting. What else? General user? That's the one that I noticed. It was. Woo! That's
Is it the one you want?
a totally different harpsichord. Hang on. That doesn't sound anything like a harpsichord, though.
Yeah.
Nah, doesn't even work. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but it's not a harpsichord. Yeah, that's next. It's right after harpsichord. Let's see. How about Jurgen? That's from the Sound Blaster. I think I want to
Maybe
use
Jurgen?
that one. From the. Let's take it from. Oh, wait. The 32 meg GM stereo actually is supposed to have upgraded. That sounds terrible. Forget I said anything. Hang on. Let's take it from
Deleting it, probably.
maybe 8 meg GM. Yeah, let's take it from 8 meg GM. That's the best version of the samples that are going to be in the Sound Blaster anyway. These are all from EMU sample library CDs, like the Emulator 3 back in the day. They came with like CDs, floppy disks back then that had these kind of sample banks in them.
Yeah.
And it was like, for the time, it was revolutionary. But you have this EMU sampler that costs $5,000 and it sounds like an SB Live because all these sounds are cut down for the SB Live from the sample library CDs. So let's take it from 8 meg GM. Okay, cool.
Good.
That's a good compromise harpsichord. Okay, let's go.
Where'd my... Oh, Polyphone likes to crash.
Does it?
Yeah.
Shit.
At least on the Mac side, it does.
Yeah, that's a good clappy. Oh, that's because I'm loading the 8 meg one. This is gonna sound good.
Wait, is that Realities or...
No, I still had 8 meg loaded up. Oh no, it's got a long release. Hear that?
Oh, yeah.
It's gotta be way faster than that. It sounds like shit. Wow.
Gosh. Oh.
This is why I'm so picky. Because what if I need a clav in it and I'm stuck with this? I'm gonna be like having a panic attack here. All right, Fluid R3. Let's see what Fluid has. I'm not sure if I want this more than I want the. Let's check Unison and Omega. Fuck you, Unison. Omega. Fuck you also. Your clav can't sound like that. Next, put me to use it. I love you, whoever made these though. Thanks for giving me a fun night of exploring all kinds of sounds.
Try sapphires. Sapphires might be decent.
Sapphires, might?
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't messed with sapphire
Yeah,
yet.
we haven't even looked at it.
No, we haven't. I seem to remember though immediately stopping it yesterday because it was just like, that's terrible. But
Yeah.
but
Take it
maybe
back.
it has other good stuff on there. Oh, I remember it being very similar to the Sound Blaster, but
Mhm.
shittier versions of the things that I liked about the Sound Blaster. That's almost stock though.
Yeah, we've already got a better harmonica though.
Yeah, that's the stock Sound Blaster harmonica.
Fluid we're using, yeah. Yeah, the organ. We're getting the organ from I think Omega.
All right, so let's go back to reality.
Yeah, we're getting the organ from Omega.
There it is. Okay. Yeah, the harpsichord's a little bit dire. All right. That's a good Celesta. That'll work totally fine.
That's from reality.
Glockenspiel. Yeah. I thought I heard a glitch in there. Standard Glockenspiel. No complaints. That's the Sound Blaster music box that I can live with. Unless we want to go hunting for a better one, but I don't usually use music box and stuff because I don't work on hentai games. So. Older
Yeah.
brother.
It's in your future.
You shouldn't look at me there.
Oh gosh. Oh.
All right, I'm done with the hentai thing right now. Okay, so, yeah, music box is a music box for the most part. Like, I'm not gonna use it that often, and when I am, it's gonna get the point across if I use the standard one. Reality GMGS. Cool. Hey, at least I said older brother and not like grandpa this time.
Oh gosh.
Keep getting in trouble. Vibraphone.
That's
Keeper.
yeah.
I mean, we're not. It has a little of the vibraphone. Boom. And vibrato isn't gonna work there. So if I want the boom, 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 the tremolo sound, I'm gonna have to modulate it with an LFO MIDI controller.
Yeah.
Like we can be like, and then go here and do one of these guys. I can drop shapes and stuff. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, Quanta.
Oh, no.
It snapped it. And you can adjust the zoom of the sign as well. So it can be like that, or like stretch it and stuff. Yeah, it's one of Cubase's cooler features, and then it creates MIDI data. I would have to do more of a like start it here.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of but there's ways around that kind of thing. You know, I've had like big room house side chaining on synths before. Like that's you got to do that on a mobile phone game because you're not going to have a side chain.
Yeah.
So if you want to get that sound, you have to use your controllers. So all right, so next vibraphone is sounding good. Marimba. Oh, my volume's all the way down. All right, cool.
Kiss the girl.
Marimba is sounding good.
Okay.
Bing. Filmation. Yeah. It's a little less woody than some other xylophones I've heard, but it's general MIDI sounding, so generally appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
See what Omega has to say. It has to say, I'm a darker sound, but I sound more realistic. I'm not sure how that's going to sound in general MIDI, though. See what Unison has to say. It has to say, I'm a scrub.
Oh, snap.
Sorry. It's just the breaks. Let's see what general user GS has to say. It has to say, I'm a bigger scrub. Let's go back to reality. I like that we're using reality as our base.
As our base. It's strong.
It sounds a little too plasticky, so let's grab the one from Unison. It's a little
What are we getting from Unison?
xylophone.
All right.
Oh, that's really glassy though. No. It wasn't Unison. It was Omega, wasn't it? Was it Omega?
Oh, Omegas?
Yeah, I remember. I was like, Unison is a scrub. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's Omega. Are you being able to like copy these into?
I can't put them into Polyphone, but I have everything written down that we're adding in and whatnot.
Because we can load these alternative banks in
Mm-hmm.
slots 2, 3, and 4 in base MIDI VST and just use banks to select between them for
Yeah.
now if we need to. But have you tried copying and pasting in Polyphone?
I
Does it work?
have, but it's finicky and it keeps crashing as well.
Yeah.
And it doesn't save everything.
All right. We'll
least not properly.
we'll try to cobble it together later, but at least we're taking notes for now. All right. Moving on. That's really tonal.
Yeah.
Let's check what Unison. Oh, what Omega has to say. The same thing.
Yeah.
Let's check what Jürgen has to say.
Jürgen. Da.
Nope, too dark. I think we might be stuck with the one because here's the default. I love that tubular bell sound. Let's see if 8 meg sounds better. We might just want to pull some of these from 4 meg GM. All right, take it from 8 meg.
Oops. Okay.
You know,
Oh my
you
gosh.
gotta have that nice pingy sounding tube bell. Okay, cool. So back to reality. Yeah, it's too it's got too much partials in. I'm torn because it sounds a lot more realistic. It's just not as. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one.
Okay.
What do you think? Versus.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 8 meg is where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it'll stand next to General MIDI better as well. Ben, you should show the people your haircut. Absolutely.
Yay.
He's so close.
Too unique, discrete. All right.
Oh.
This sounds a lot more like a JRPG. It's
Mhm.
probably more sound canvassy. Let's see what 8meg has to say. It has to actually lose this time. It's going to take an L compared to Omega.
So what's that?
That's Omega.
Yeah, but what patch?
Oh, Dulcimer. Yeah, that's a weak Dulcimer. Come on, guys. It sounds stretched.
Mhm.
All right, the organs in this are unstoppable. Except, what even is that? Let's-
That's
percussion organ is
interesting.
perfect. No, I don't like the drawbar organ from this one. It's not what it's supposed to sound like. Here's what 8meg has to say about it. Watch, it's the same one, and I just look like an idiot. Yeah. 8meg. That's the one we take. That's like the most important. That's drawbar. That's the first organ. It's called different things. It's either drawbar organ or organ 1 or like one of those things that sometimes changes. What is it called in the official spec? It's drawbar. It's listed as drawbar organ here, but I've seen it as like all kinds of different things.
I can put it as both.
What's up?
Usually it has all three of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is percussive organ. Rock organ.
Ooh. Oh, I never showed you that Shrek jazz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Moment of truth. We're so far so good. There you go. I haven't played that in a while. That's the 8meg default one. Let's see who can step to this organ.
Who can step
Who
to
can
this?
step to my organ here?
Step to Maloo.
Let's see what reality does with it. It's really uneven in sound.
Yeah.
It's kind of peaky. Not a good general purpose sound. Nah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
reality
trying
is the
to-
best one there.
I'm trying to like figure out how it's gonna play chords singly.
Mm-hmm.
Was I using? Okay, so Mega is next. Let's do that. It rumbles.
Mm.
Dun 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 dun. You know, and it's really weak down low, so that's not workable. It's one of those realistic ones that isn't really good for this application. But this one. It's too it's a great sound, but it's we would have to edit the envelope to have less of an R.
Mm.
It's too echoey. So let's go back to Reality Bank and see if that one's better. That's way more general purpose. It doesn't sound quite as realistic as the other one, but again, as I've been saying all night, this isn't as much about realism as it is about how they play with each other. So. Reed organ is okay in this, but it's not nearly as snappy as 8 megs. Nope, or 4 megs. That's darker version of it. Oh, I had the wrong thing loaded here. Man. Where are you? Alright, let's keep that as is for now.
Okay. It's too mushy. Let's see. 8 megs it is. 8 megs it is. Which one is that?
8 megs wins. Accordion. And I'm gonna guess probably Tango accordion, which is man, that mute though. That hand mute.
Mm-hmm.
No, but we already had the harmonica experience. We need Tango accordion. Nope. Let's see what we got. That's the default one built into Reality.
Okay.
Let's see what's in Omega.
Yeah. Too many parameters to find an instrument.
I'm not sure if I like that better. That's such a terrible accordion.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Let's use the Tango accordion from Omega. That one doesn't get a lot of love.
Yeah.
There's usually better versions of stuff in others. How are you coming along?
Good.
I got a pace?
Yeah, I got a template loaded up for from Reality Space, and I can start getting other ones in.
Awesome. All right, cool.
I just need to save so Python doesn't die on me.
Guitar, the moment of truth.
Actually, I want to redo that. Which one is that?
It's not great actually. This is I'm still in Omega Land, so let's go back to Reality Land. I forgot to switch back. Woo, that's out of tune. Or the other one was. Let me find out. I'm gonna find out right now. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's flat. Oh, come on.
That's
it's such a
way
good sound,
flat.
though. You could probably fix it, but
Yeah.
I don't even trust it at this point if they couldn't put it in at the right. Oh, come on, no. It's like poison to my
Yeah, that
ears.
is not going in.
All right, let's do unison. Nah, not impressed. All right. Not convinced. Let's load up Fluid. That's way better. Versus the 8 meg default, which is pretty distinctive. And I think I'm gonna keep it.
Okay, so 8 megs. Yeah, I like that one better than Fluids.
Cool.
Which one is that?
That is 8 megs.
Yeah, but which patch?
Oh, nylon guitar.
Nylon guitar.
The steel string guitar. I love the sound of this one. But it's this is one of the bigger reasons for the fake sound of the 8 meg is the guitar just sounds so synthy. We can do better. As much as I love it, it's not the best. Ooh, that's like a brighter version of the same thing. What the hell? I think we're gonna take that from. I'm just gonna keep it from Reality as good as is.
Okay.
Nice job. It's more or less the default one from 8 meg, which I'm gonna keep because that's the most iconic jazz guitar sound like ever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound terrible. I can write stuff with it that sounds okay. That's actually really good compared to the clean guitar in 8 megs. This is one of the better clean guitars I've heard actually. Like you can play stuff on a guitar on it, and that's the default one from the Sound Blaster. I almost never use this sound because it sounds like this.
Yeah.
But this, I might actually get use out of this. Like, I wanna have sounds in here that are like everyday useful and not just cool sounding. Not too bad. I might tune the tune to the loops. You hear how it flattens a bit?
Yeah.
That one's fine. Just little editing discrepancies that I can fix later. You can do country like chicken picking stuff and. Oh, okay, let's keep this one. That's cool.
Which one is that?
That's
Clean guitar from.
it's from Reality.
Oh, sweet. Okay, we don't change it then.
Reality. Most of the stuff in Reality is awesome.
They're super
There's
solid.
A few. Yeah, that's solid.
Mm.
Yeah. Muted guitar. Overdrive. Nice. So you won't work for that. You gotta, because it machine guns this. But I really use over guitar drive, for that kind of stuff. Usually that's this one. Oh, is it the same sound? Oh, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
F you. Let's find a new distortion guitar. I'm gonna leave this as distortion guitar because this is a great lead sound. Let's see what's in Omega.
Oh,
Get out of here with that noise.
yeah, that's.
It sounds like Earthbound.
This-
I'm trying to think when it goes. Yeah. Yeah, right. Oh yeah. This is terrible. What are we doing here? Unison. Take it or leave it. Let's see what's in Fluid.
Oh, what? No, that's like.
Is overdrive guitar different though? It doesn't handle fast runs too well. But it's also the same basic set as this. No, it's not even close. Oh, that's a different one. It was one of the ones we had heard last. How about Sapphire? What's this Super Nintendo sounding shit?
Yeah.
Come on. I think we found our overdrive though.
From where?
It's distortion guitar from Sapphire. Let's load up 8 meg just for reference. It's more or less the same thing, but this is just like, oh, that's distortion guitar. Never mind. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on. Go back to Reality. I'm gonna just start auditioning patches in the later reaches because I don't
Mhm.
want to get into this much detail on like the leads yet because I'm not gonna really know if they're gonna sit well until I try to use them. We're gonna have to create like point versions of this. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
This is just for squeal harmonics, like in that solo. That's a pretty good bass. It's a take on the standard, but it's is the standard. Whoops. Where are you? Load. This is the one from the Sound Blaster, basically.
Okay.
Basically. And it's a little bit actually tonal. I'm used to the sound after all these years, but it's not like
Yeah.
I'm not married to it or anything like that. Let's see what General User does on this. They have good band instruments. Yeah, guilty as charged.
We're using Bass MIDI to load up all these, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's
Bass MIDI VST.
and it'll be on our wiki document.
Yeah, we're
We
gonna
have
put
to link
together
to
a
it.
wiki page that
Yeah.
shows how to get started with all these things. Go back to Reality. I think that's the one. I remember loving the bass throughout the entire track when I was auditioning this one. Cool. All right, finger bass is one of the most important ones because I'm doing like soul funk sounding bass on almost every track. That's more or less the 8 meg. So keep the pick bass as is. I need that particular sound for things.
Okay.
Fretless bass,
Fretless bass.
but I'm not sure if that's going to be better or worse than any of these others. It's a useful sound, but it doesn't sound enough like the General MIDI standards to where I'm comfortable putting it in here because I don't think it'll mix as well. Is that more or less the Omegas is the same as Reality? Yeah, let's just leave that one as is. I like it.
Okay.
Gotta keep that.
Yeah.
That's the slap bass sound as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2. You rarely use 2, you usually use 1. But sometimes 1 is a little too slappy, so you gotta... Slap basses are dead. Synth bass either has to be this or it's not right. Yep. Synth bass 2. Yep. Moving on.
That's good.
They have to be those sounds specifically because, like, when you're writing, it's sort of a 303-ish, ARP-ish, Moog-ish kind of analog, but it has to have that meow. You have to have a sound that can do that, and sometimes it's only going to be available in the synth lead, bass and lead, because it's based on the same sound-ish.
Ooh, yeah.
But this one is way more. Anyway, bass. So bass is done. Strings and orchestra. Let's see how reality stacks up. These will never really be that realistic when played.
Yeah.
Because of the bowing technique, you can make the best violin samples in the world, and it's still gonna sound like every time it's gonna be machine gun to hell. So, well, for a reference, we'll see what some of the other banks have for those, but it's got to be similar to this because you have to be able to. Let's see what general. Oh, it's so good, but it just doesn't sound right when you play the chords. You got to use this patch for a bunch of different things. Damn, it's such a good sound, though.
Yeah.
If only. I might just say let's use that on the violin, and we'll have fiddle be a different one.
Okay.
Fiddle comes after violin. It's later in the. It's like in the ethnic section, if I believe. Yeah, fiddle is. This is general user. It's just
So general user fiddle.
Oh wait. Mute. That's a terrible fiddle sound though. So let's use the violin from general user, or is it? Yeah, GS Muse score. Let's see if it's in any others also, like fluid. Let's see what the fluid violin sounds like. Like, this is an important one because it's got to be a certain type of way. Out of tune. F my life. Omega. It's not bad, but we have the same problem where it's out of tune and you're playing chords. If you want to have a small section of violins playing an ensemble section, something like the reality set, it's more.
Wait, just play a third.
What's up?
Just play a third. It's like each one is using a different temperament. Sounds like.
Yeah. Stringed instruments. All right, so I'm gonna say let's use the violin, violin from reality, as the fiddle instrument, and we'll use the general user violin as the main violin instrument. So that'll be right before the string section.
Mm-hmm.
Right before it's in string/orc. Like violin, viola, cello. And I'm guessing that viola and cello are going to be similarly awesome in the and similarly boring in mine. General user. Yeah, that's cool. Let's use viola, violin, cello. Cool. Yeah. Violin, viola, cello, and presumably contrabass. Ooh. Hello, diesel engine.
Huh.
If I change the pitch bend range up to, wow, I don't think you can even do that from here on this.
From Bass MIDI?
Yeah, I don't think they don't give you a. Ooh, shit. The other one lets you edit parameters in real time.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah, I like the solo instruments from let's see about tremolo strings then. Yeah, those are done through modulation. Most tremolo strings are just done by putting the default string sounds through a volume LFO, so it's just like
Yeah.
they never record actual tremolo on strings. But that could be different in different ones. Like I bet this giant one probably has real tremolo strings. If it doesn't, I'm gonna laugh really hard. Omega. Ha!
Nope.
It's just an LFO. That's 270 megs of downloading
Oh my
to
gosh.
find that out. Let's see what has it though.
Oh.
That's about as close as we're gonna get without getting un-GM about it,
Yeah.
because you expect to hear more or less that kind of sound in a GM set.
Mm.
Let's just take a couple more looks. That one's just shameless about its LFOing. Like you can hear it playing vibrato while it's also tremoloing. How about Jurgen?
Jurgen. That's not bad.
No, I think I like the ones better in Fluid.
Okay. So fluid tremolo?
Wait. No. Which one was it that I liked? Oh shit. Was it?
I thought it was.
Oof. Kakariko Village over here.
Yeah, it's funny how so many of us used these sets.
I really like the strings out of that though. Hang on. But not the tremolos. Unison maybe? Is it Unison? Goodbye. It's a dead note.
Yeah.
Oh no. I do like the character of these though a lot. It's a tough call, honestly. Like I'd never use those as tremolo strings because they sound like the normal string patch. But Merlin Creative. I've heard better. What about 8 meg GM plus? No.
Definitely
Defaults.
not.
Man, I thought it was Fluid, or was it Jurgen? No, it wasn't Jurgen, was it? Was it Jurgen?
Wait, yeah, try.
No, those are a little too.
What about Sapphire? Try, go back to Sapphire.
Yeah, let's try Sapphire. There.
No.
Those are the ones that sound like Super Nintendo samples.
What about you chose 32 meg?
Let's try it. What? Have you ever heard tremolo strings being played, Guy?
Wait, where did the strings we liked go?
I think
Did we try both Merlin patches or Merlin
oh,
decks?
yeah, maybe it's the other Merlin.
Oh.
No.
Nope.
Creative. It was this one that had the dead string, but it's otherwise a great set.
What about?
If we could fix the dead note in here, I would use these from
Okay.
Merlin.
Do you want me to write that down and just keep a note to fix the?
Yeah, keep a note to fix that.
That, what is that?
It's
E flat.
Merlin Creative.
Which one?
And it's tremolo strings.
Tremolo strings.
Oh man, ActRaiser was gross. It had the
Merlin
grossest
Creative.
samples in it, like recorded from probably a CD or something of an actual orchestra. And he used them so brilliantly that it sounds like a real orchestra. It's just grungy. It's like looking at pixel art. It's very grody sounding, bad loops everywhere.
Yeah.
But you get the sound of being in a freaking like watching Wagner or something like in it. It's great. It's over the top and epic, even though it uses noisy, crappy samples. It's just because
Wasn't it Wagner's birthday today?
maybe.
Or maybe it's Haydn. I don't know. Somebody look that
Turns
up.
out Unison also has the dead note, so it's just
Yeah, it's just
the problem with those samples. All right, let's move on from tremolo because I barely use them at all in everyday usage in general MIDI. We'll have to go back to them and tweak that one dead note. All right. Moving on. Pizzicato. Perfect. You don't want any character in your pizzicato strings in general MIDI. If it's like, you know, if it has like little sounds, if it's more than just that, you're going to hear it every time. You're going to hear the when you're trying to play like, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to ever hear any noise in your pizzicato strings on a MIDI set. That's when you're doing the good samples that you want to hear, like the, you know,
so we're sticking with reality.
Yeah.
Huh.
Not great. I mean, it works, but not much of a
But
harp.
we can do better.
Like that, for example. That's a lot better, and that's from Omega. Let's see what unit, but that's probably like 50 megs. That's a good compromise, I think. Is that the same from 8 megs? Let's find out. This is the default one. Now, it doesn't sound great, but it's also very assertive. So if you take a much quieter one, it's going to not sound in balance in the same songs, if that makes sense. So let's see about the 8 meg plus and see if they it doesn't sound great. Let's see what MuseScore has to offer. I would say that's probably in the running for second place, probably, I would say. Omega is the first, but it's probably huge. So let's find out what Merlin's up to. Kind of noisy samples. Little bit synthy. Try Merlin Creative. I like the pick sound, but it stops. So if you're doing a glissando, it's going to instantly stop sounding and start sounding dark. So you can't really do much of that unless you're blending them really well between the note ranges. What about Sapphire? Sort of nondescript. All right, so the best one I've heard so far is probably
Omegas.
Well, it's definitely Omegas, but it's probably going to be Unison is the one we keep, unless the Omega one isn't that huge.
Wait, what about Fluids? Did we like Fluids?
Let's find out. Fluid.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad. It's assertive.
Mm.
Yeah, now I'm torn. I think Fluid sounds pretty good as a general MIDI harp. You want to have that the sort of a nice tonal texture to it instead of being too plucky. Because, like I said, it won't mix well.
I'll put down Fluid first, but also Omega as well, just as another possibility.
Yeah, Fluid is I think where I want to go with this one.
Okay.
It's a tough one. Harps are really tough because the ones that sound objectively best are usually they just fall apart in a mix. You gotta have something that's got a really strong tonal backing. Timpani's another really important one because very often they're realistic and they sound like shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to be playing that high, but it's troubling that the samples are kind of flangey like that. Let's see what Reality has first, though. When possible, I don't want to change. Well, first of all, it's transposed. It's not even in the right key. Why?
Who would do such a thing?
Who would do such a thing? I'm glad I didn't play anything with a timpani in it. I would have had a panic attack. Let's see what Fluid does. Let's see what Unison does right on this. Nothing. The 8 meg standard is pretty good though. It's the standard GM timpani basically.
Yeah.
This one's better and it's similar.
So
This
Timp
is
from
Merlin.
Oh, from Merlin.
Merlin GM22. Let's see about creative. Terrible. What?
Yeah, that's not.
What even? Fluid. It's still.
What is
too
that?
Thin. It's too thin.
Yeah, that's.
Sounds like it's doubled, but it's
It's
not.
like they
I swear it's not.
ran a high pass over that.
Out of tune.
Mm-hmm.
That's realities which is out of tune. So we're gonna have to fix that before I can do really anything with the timpani.
So are we gonna use realities or are we gonna use Merlin GM22?
Let's use Merlin GM for that one.
Right.
GM V22.
I don't regret at the time. There we go, timpani.
We might have to.
Tunings for men. Nonsense.
Oh shit.
Tuning is for everyone.
Okay, cool. Yeah, timpani from Merlin for sure. It's a good one.
Okay.
I might just revert to the 8 meg one at some point, but can't use realities because it's freaking. It's the Sound Blaster one pitched up by 2 semitones.
And which one is that?
That is reality, and I'm not actually totally convinced with those. That's the standard Sound Blaster strings. Those are the This is 4 meg. So, if we want better ones, Omega is probably the best. They're probably the biggest. and they're kind of terrible sounding. I'm continually underwhelmed by the actual quality of these giant samples. Too mushy. Fluid. Was it General User that I liked so much? I think it might have been General User
Yeah.
that had really awesome strings. Very assertive sounding. It wasn't that. Was it? Was it Sapphire? No.
Try Unison.
Yeah, let's try Unison. One of these had awesome ones. Nice loop.
No.
No. God, what was
Yeah,
it?
that's not.
One of
that's
these
not
had
good.
like super, super awesome.
Uh,
Was it a Merlin?
I don't like that there's two Merlin libraries. I get confused.
What's up?
I don't like that there's two Merlin libraries.
Yeah,
I'm
one
getting
of
confused.
there's like 10 Merlin libraries. It's a whole company that makes these and sells them. These are the free versions. If this weren't so stereo, it would be great.
Yeah.
But it's a little too stereo. See about creative.
Mm. Hmm.
Versus. Dude, that's it. That's just
Which one is
reality.
that? That was.
Reality.
Oh, so we're keeping that one. Okay.
Cool. Right. Moving on. Strings 1 and then strings 2 is the slow version, which I have no use for whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it could come in handy for OKKO if I'm like, I have to do like a soft cue.
Mm-hmm.
That might come in handy because then I don't have to use my mod wheel to map that to velocity to expression or anything like that. Synth strings have to be a certain thing. That's the right one. That's the right one. Thank you. Moving on. All right, who had the best choirs? Somebody had the best choirs, I remember. We were like, damn, those choirs.
Remember I wrote it down. General User, I think. Yeah, I think
Let's
General
try
User was one that we liked.
User. Versus, let's try Unison. Omega. It has the same one. Why is
Yeah.
it so huge and it just has pretty much whatever everybody else has? It's probably like a 300 megabyte piano or something. This one sounds way more like it should in the general MIDI set. This is 4 meg. So it already sounds pretty synthy, but I think I might like the General User. Let's see how it responds though. It's either that or Unison, I think.
I think I like Unison's, yeah.
Yeah, that's more neutral. Yeah. That'll be actually useful and stuff instead of just being a synth that sounds kind of like a choir, you know? Okay. Moving on. This is very important. The do's have to be exactly how I need them to be. And they have to be like, they have to sound good in a Katamari song, basically.
Yeah.
And I think Reality has those.
Which one was that?
That's it's just the default Reality.
Okay.
Because I have to be able to play this. Import MIDI file. Create a new project. I gotta show you with Reality. I gotta show you Mr. Magoo Goes to Magfest. It's the cover night. We did a cover album for a Quackfest. We just did covers one night. It was a thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't. It was like Donuts, and I just did a cover album. And I did a cover EP anyway in Quackfest form. But this is why I need some of these patches to behave the way they do, because they've got to capture this. Wow, what's going on here? Oh, it's loading up a shit ton of Halions. That's why. Hold up.
No, Vienna. It's not there to save us.
Yeah, it's crashed. But maybe it won't crash the rest of the way. Like, video won't work, but I don't care because I'm not doing video. Yeah, it doesn't like this. It loads up everything, and it's just like, what the hell is all this data all of a sudden? Let me load up 16 copies of Halion. So we gotta link these together. Here's how you start up a general MIDI file in Cubase. Link selected channels, routing, routing, and then route it out to PM device, network session 1, and you're done. And it'll play on this synth now. Or not. That might not happen. Oh, come on. Is it not going out to the port? Why are you not playing all of a sudden?
Whoa.
Go back here.
Hold on.
Because things are muted? I don't get it. What? Send your MIDI data out. Can this play? Oh. I'm doing something stupid. I must be. Because suddenly I can't play. Oh, this track isn't even activated. Hold up.
There we go.
But I gotta activate this one now and see if that works. Because I want to send MIDI out this thing. Okay. I'm gonna hold off on playing this one then. Unless it's doing something weird in the mixer here. Forget it. Let's go back to messing around with this. And we'll save this for another day. I don't know why it's not playing all of a sudden. It worked last time I did that, so. I know why. I'm an idiot. Control and arm all these tracks. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't have them armed in bass MIDI?
Yeah. Wait. Let me make absolutely sure that it's not echoing on both channels. Yeah, perfect. All right, cool. So So now this other one will work just fine, I think. Create no project.
Great move.
Hey. This is another good one to test things with because it tested a bunch of different genres of music in one Quackfest.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I was incredibly intoxicated throughout the entire thing, and I couldn't stick to one theme.
Are we in reality right now?
Reality. Get this one first. By the way, all of these songs were completely from memory, so I got about half of them wrong. So don't worry about it. It's bad. I was like, why does this sound so shitty? It doesn't sound anything like reality. And it's because I forgot to map it again. Hey, link channels. So what you were listening to is Halion, which sounds like butt. This will sound way better if it plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, check it out. Listen to the dudes. Yeah, I made up half of the chord voicings and everything. Right?
Yeah.
You gotta have it that way. That's why, because I would write a MIDI file. It won't sound right on your machine unless you've got that. It's a little out of balance. I could tweak this a bit. Wrong bass note.
Oh, wait, that's nice.
It's like, hello.
Whoa, wait.
Aww. The brass is like dejected. Alright, fine, we'll do seal instead. Yeah, that jazz guitar is not great, but we'll look for better ones. It's so standard though.
Yeah.
I don't remember how any of this goes. But I know that's in there, right? Yeah. The Laverne and Shirley theme. I can't explain it either. It's a good default bank, I think.
Yeah.
Better than Sound Blaster, but not by much, you know?
Gotta test the.
Yeah, gotta get a feel for it.
Gosh.
This is a good night, like, to be stupid fall over drunk.
Sounds
listening
like
to MIDI
it.
files. The jazz guitar is workable. I just gotta mix it down.
Yeah.
That works. I love MIDI. And it loves me back. Gonna sequence it all night. Cause I'm whack.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. So true. And I owe it all to unison. Oh shit, I accidentally hit space. Hang on. No, where did we go? Oh no, I lost it.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was a meme lord back then. I don't care. It's Numa Numa yay. Badly. I ran out of time here, so
Nice little rag.
you gotta just go out with a bang. I regret doing this a lot.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah. I'm like sloppy drunk by now. This is a real-time tempo shift.
I was
So I'm
gonna say
trying to-
you clearly didn't map the tempo for any of this.
I was just trying so hard to keep
It's
up.
like
but
quick.
then-
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what happens when you run out of time in a Quackfest. Shit gets real.
That's a
real-
beautiful thing.
Real fast.
I think you
So
should run out of time
it treats
more
that
often.
well. It does a good job on that one.
For sure.
All right, so we've gotten through about half of these so far. I think I might call it pretty soon because it's about to be midnight. But I'm
I
going to
keep looking at
continue
that
going
clock.
through these. What's up?
I keep looking at that clock.
Yeah, man. Daylight savings time kicked in or off or whatever it is like 2 months ago, and I haven't reset any of my clocks in any of the places that I have clocks.
Can we not do that anymore?
Yeah, we
Daylight
totally could not
savings?
do that anymore. You want to fix it? Do you know how?
What?
You
Oh
just
no.
hit the time button on there and just hit the H. Like, ow, shit. I'm like, go over there. No, but yeah, I'll fix all the clocks. We gotta get on that. I'm so used to the ones on the computer like automatically, and then my phone, so I don't even look at that one. It's like, oh, I still have an hour, and then Robbie comes in like, we're on,
Dude.
yeah,
It's 3
every
o'clock.
day. All right, so let's see how far we got. We got to ooze, and then I got on a tangent about the dudes.
Yeah. Here, let me put everything we got on the Word doc
Yeah,
or Google Doc.
yeah. This will be a work in progress. We'll be editing these. Synth voice sounds good.
Oh, look at that. That's not the right font. Let's change that. What do we
Orchestra
have up
hits
here?
exactly what it needs to be. It's a Dust Hill Guy song waiting to happen. That's my Dust Hill impression. Good. Yeah, we got through the ensemble, which these are the most important ones for doing everyday songwriting. But you still need like the synth leads to be tight.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't sound like a square wave, it sounds like a square lead, which is important. These are the
Uh-huh.
default ones pretty much from the Sound Blaster kit or something very like them. You know, like, but you still have, these are lead synth versions of the other instruments that we already have. So like the Trang is usually built out of the distortion guitar, so we'll see if that works. Yeah, they use the one from the Sound Blaster,
Mhm.
which is good. I want that to be. It's sort of like a third guitar voice. It's like a synthy guitar that
Yeah.
you can use in things. Voice lead's pretty good. Fifth lead has to be that exactly that.
Yeah.
It's gotta sound exactly like that, or it's not right.
That's good.
Bass lead has to
Mhm.
sound exactly like that as well. These are right. I'm not even gonna go into the flutes and the winds yet because those are gonna be a touchy subject. I'm gonna have to put some work into those. Like the saxes are probably not gonna be usable. Actually, they're pretty good on this. Yeah, they're actually not bad for doing general purpose stuff.
Take 5. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, the vibrato's all messed up, but we don't use vibrato.
So yeah,
on-
same, we have to check those for the winds and brass.
Yeah, it's saxes are a tough one in general MIDI because you have to be able to play quick notes, and you also have to be able to play lead lines on it, and so you can't have one that's too expressive, because it's gonna sound like when you're playing chords.
Yeah.
When you have 16 channels, you can't necessarily put a full sax section in the MIDI file. You might have to like pick alto and do all your sax lines in the alto sax because all 15 other channels are taken up by something else.
Monique
So-
says we got a sax sent to you on Twitter.
That's right. I'm gonna try putting that one in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see what it sounds like. I'm not sure if they were being serious or joking, like this is the best one, and it's like dogs barking or something. But if it's a really good sax, we'll try putting it in. Baritone, good enough.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Cool. Oboes. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little flat sounding, which can be good for general MIDI. These sound a lot like the Sound Blaster ones. I'm not sure which of these are new. Like,
Yeah.
there's like a bassoon is a bassoon in the general MIDI sense. It's got to be very flat. The clarinet shouldn't stick out too much. Not good. You hear that fade?
Yeah.
I can't play klezmer in this.
How am I supposed to get my classical clarinet rep in?
So what is a good clarinet?
Let me put that in the doc.
Good clarinet. Let's try unison. The same one.
Clarinet
try
change
omega.
to something.
Doesn't really capture a clarinet tone too well.
No.
Lower ranges is better. Let's see what Sapphire has to say. Sticks out a little bit.
Yeah,
too
and the
much.
low end's not.
It's blaring Merlin. More or less the same. I mean, these really do
It doesn't
have
seem
to
like
be
it.
quite standard.
The peak is fast enough.
Yeah. 32 meg stereo.
Did you?
What?
What?
Why is there chorus on it?
No.
What is this Phil Collins
What
ass
is that?
freaking clarinet here? Jurgen.